This is Arvin Vora, founder of Vora Method and author of How to Get into an Ivy League College. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can use lists of types of things to show expertise, to show introspection, to show curiosity, cleverness, you name it. We're going to start off with an actual quote from an actual expert in an area. We're going to take this quote from Stephen King, the master of horror. And here's what he says about fear. He says about terror. Here are the three types of terror. The gross out, the sight of a severed head tumbling down a flight of stairs. It's when the light goes out and something green and slimy splatters against your arm. The horror, the unnatural spiders the size of bears, the dead waking up and walking around. It's when the lights go out and something with claws grabs you by the arm. And the last and worst one, terror, when you come home and notice everything you own had been taken away and replaced by an exact substitute. It's when the lights go out and you feel something behind you. You hear it. You feel its breath against your ear. And when you turn around, there's nothing there. So what do we see here? We see Stephen King's insightfulness. We see his expertise in the area. We see his cleverness. And just by listing these three things, it really just brings together so nicely. Now notice that he listed all these three things in one paragraph. He didn't have like these three separate paragraphs to make it long and boring. He just put it together, and that gives it that impact. Now I'm going to show you how you can mimic this without actually being an expert in anything. So here's something that I did in the last couple of minutes. And so instead of terror, I just picked gold. You can use this for literally anything. And then I just took a list of like just random adjectives. I put frozen, hot, long, short, fat, skinny, hidden, bold, secret, angry, confused, wise. Okay. And then what I did is I took the ones that just didn't make any sense. I took frozen, I took angry, and I took confused. And then I just wrote this. Now remember, Stephen King is an expert in horror. I am not an expert in gold. And while this is obviously going to, my 2 minutes worth of work here might not have the same power and insight that Stephen King's did, when this stuff is read quickly as part of an essay, it can give a lot of energy very quickly. So here we go. There's the frozen gold that perches silent on your great aunt's wrists. There's angry gold, the kind that makes a pirate treasure in ancient Roman coins. There's the kind of confused gold, the gold leaf on fancy chocolates that wonders how it somehow got placed in the totally wrong section of the department store. So what's happening here, we're just creating a sense of having thought about this thing by creating a list. When you create these lists, it's not that hard to do. You just take the topic, then you take like a bunch of adjectives, pick a few of them, and then make a list of what each of those things can mean. You can do this with literally any object. You can do it with an emotion, as we discussed in other parts of this curriculum. You can do it with a physical object, whatever you want, and it's going to create that sense of having really thought about this, a sense of expertise. The key is, though, you do want to put these all together in one paragraph, not spread them out in some long, tedious thing where you're like, here's the first type, and then like a paragraph later, it's like, no. But all in one paragraph, it's kind of a montage type effect, and it's going to give a lot more energy and passion to whatever it is that you're writing about.